What's up guys, Joe here, welcome back to my channel, and today we have a new type of video that I haven't really done before. Obviously we're back on F1 2020, but this week we have a last to first challenge. Basically we'll be starting on the back of the grid and seeing where we finish. And I'm planning on doing these for each Grand Prix. So obviously this weekend the real life Grand Prix is at Silverstone again. So obviously we're at Silverstone and I have chosen Lando Norris for the race. And as you see right here, we do have his helmet that Eva, the 6-year-old, designed for him. Unreal stuff. Really nice of Lando to wear this helmet. I think he won't be wearing it this weekend. He did wear it last weekend at the Grand Prix, but I thought it would be fun to use that helmet just to change it up and make it that little bit more exciting for us. But yeah guys, I'm recording this a few days before the race weekend does get underway, and of course always looking forward to the Grand Prix. Looking forward to finally seeing Hulkenberg get a chance in the race again. He was so unlucky last week, couldn't believe it when that racing point didn't get underway, but hopefully he can put together a decent result. Norris was 5th last weekend, putting together a decent performance, so it'll be interesting to see how he does this week as we head to 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway here for the British GP. Latifi on our left getting an absolutely flying start. I flick the car to the outside of turn 1 and we lunge around a few cars, I think Giovinazzi and Latifi, and then we're on the outsides of Magnussen up to P16 right now as we head into the next corner, and Grosjean and Stroll both on my outside. We're 3 wide briefly right there and we have a car on our outside. It's the racing point of Stroll, but we just about take that position and we have 6 gained positions here on lap 1, and that is a perfect start to our Grand Prix. I didn't actually mention it, but you can see I am on the medium tyres, so technically we should be slower to start this race. However, we should move on to the soft tyre and hopefully fly through the field in the second half of the race. But as we head now through sector 2, we're on Kimi Raikkonen's tail and we get a good exit right here. Pierre Gasly just ahead of us as well, side by side with Kimi, and we back out of it. I think probably the sensible decision. However, I do try and set myself up through the S's and try and get a great run on Kimi. We flick to the outside of the straight and we go past the Finn. So up to P13 from P20 here on lap 1. I will certainly take that. Pierre Gasly up next. However, now heading onto the second lap, Kimi Raikkonen still right up my gearbox, and as we head into Abbey, he tries to go round the outsides, but I do hold it just about holding off Kimi Raikkonen right there. And hopefully he doesn't battle us too hard, and as we head onto the end of lap 3, I was able to stretch my legs and get away from Kimi, who has now been passed by Lance Stroll, and we are on the back of Pierre Gasly, and we have Ocon, Kvyat and Sergio Perez just up the road, and it's very bunched up right here as we head up the inside of Pierre Gasly. I could have tried to get Perez there as well, but I think that would have been a little bit too ambitious. As we now head through the village section, side by side still with Pierre Gasly, and oh my words, he did flick the car weirdly as he headed into the apex and had to kind of take evasive action, but we do get the position on Pierre Gasly here on that 4, now up to P12, so very good first stint of the race, hoping to at least finish in the top 10 today. I think that is a decent goal. But now we do go a lap later. If you look on the minimap, you can see Carlos Sainz is just ahead of this train of cars. It would be good to catch him. However, looking in our mirrors, Gasly round the outside at Copse. I do give him the room, but he did back out of it. I'm surprised he didn't try and hang it around the outside, but I was able to keep the speed going just enough whilst giving him the room, and we are able to hold on to this position. And at this stage, I'm expecting the softer tyres to drop off a little bit and the medium tyres to come in as we take a look at a replay. I think that was fair racing. I certainly gave him the room, but he didn't quite trust me there clearly. But we are in a bit of a DRS train, and that is making it somewhat difficult to pass Perez, Kvyat and Ocon up ahead, and Sainz is stretching away from this group all the time. And if we can catch Sainz, that'll be a very successful Grand Prix. But pit window is open, and lap 7 we go into the pit lane. So 7 laps on the medium tyres, we will finish with 6 on the soft compounds, and this is where we should be absolutely flying. We should be absolutely rapid in this final stint of the Grand Prix. Esteban Ocon is the man up next, and Kvyat and Perez did stay out for an additional lap, so hopefully we can get the undercut on those guys. That is the goal. However, talking of that, we do have a yellow flag in the village section, so someone has gone off and Max Verstappen is out of the Grand Prix, so that is another position gain. So hopefully we can really gain a few points today, with Verstappen now retiring from the Grand Prix, heading now into Maggots, and then we have Beckett's, and then Chapel out into the Hangar Straight. Lovely section there, and I'm really pushing on these soft tyres on Esteban Ocon. We're now 2.5 seconds off Gasly, and remember he was right up our chuff as we headed into the pit lane. So actually this final sector was purple, so I'm showing you the full sector here. I think I'll put together a pretty nice sector on these, of course, very fast soft tyres. And now heading onto lap 9, we're right behind Esteban Ocon. Sergio Perez is in the pits. As you see, we do go purple there, and we're now just 0.4 off Ocon. As we take a look off our rear wing, there is Perez, and we have jumped in, and Kvyat actually stayed out for another lap. We will probably jump him as well. However, now we are right in Ocon's DRS, and this is a great opportunity to overtake the Frenchman here on the Wellington straight. We go to the inside, dummy to the outside, and we try and hold it around the outside, and what an overtake that was. I absolutely loved that move right there. We shimmied to the inside, then dived around the outside and made it stick on these softer compound tyres. I really did enjoy that overtake, I will be honest with you guys. And now up next on lap 9, only a few laps left in this Grand Prix. We obviously need to try and get away from Ocon, which we are doing somewhat. He's just about out of our DRS. As the final cars do come in for their stop, you can see Kvyat coming out the pits, and we're now up to P9. So having a decent Grand Prix right now. Sainz is the man up next. He is on the medium tyres. I think Ricciardo's too far ahead, but 2.4 seconds to Sainz. He's on the mediums, we're on the softs. Can we catch our teammate and gain an additional position here at this Grand Prix as we head to the end of lap 10? We have closed it to about 2 seconds, but a pretty poor final few corners opens up the gap a little bit. However, Stroll does come into the pits, and we now move up to P8, and that is our kind of proper position now rather than a virtual position. But sadly, I didn't quite have the pace to catch Sainz. These soft tyres didn't quite feel as good as I hoped. They were really fast in the first few laps, but they did phase quite quickly. So we will finish in P8, and that was a very enjoyable Grand Prix.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So let me know, guys, what you thought of this last to first challenge. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this, and I am planning to do it for each Grand Prix weekends coming up. So let me know if that's something you're about. Lewis Hamilton does take the win, but P8, I was very happy with that from the back of the grid, finishing just a few seconds off our teammate Carlos Sainz. So then, guys, all that remains to be said is if you enjoyed this one, drop a like on the video. It really helps me out. Let me know in the comments as well if you think Lando Norris will beat my P8 in the real life Grand Prix this weekend. I think he probably will, obviously finishing 5th in last weekend's Grand Prix. And guys, drop a sub on the channel if you're not subbed already. I will see you guys in the next one.